What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode 10 of the Fallen for Film podcast. Ryan O'Toole here, your host, and my co-host, Colin Williams, is also here. Colin, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. This was a longer week this week. Usually it's like after we do the podcast, it just like skips by this week and then we're all of a sudden we're shooting the next one. This one for some reason was a little longer. I don't know if it's because we have bigger movie news than we've maybe ever had. So maybe we're just like chomping at the bit to get in. Like, the saying goes, if you watch, a burger cook, it takes forever. That's kind of what it was like for this week. So
I'm kind of feeling the same way. I've been working a lot, obviously, and whenever like big movie news comes out, you're just eager to talk about it, and we usually wait like a week to even dive into it. It does feel longer, but the movie news that doesn't feel as exciting, it goes by quicker. So I definitely feel that.
Yeah, we got stuff like early on this week, and I got kind of big news. The school year's over, so I'm not going to be working for another. I do it next week. I work 3 days next week. I'm actually going to the school and stuff, and then I'm off, and then I'll just figure it out from there and just kind of
go by the days, go by the weeks, and all that in quarantine. But it usually is the time when high schoolers are graduating, college people are graduating.
Actually, my cousin's graduating. In our town, obviously they're not having their graduation, or they're thinking they'll try and do it in June, like after the school year. Hopefully when things are better, that's still the plan. But in case that doesn't happen, we had a parade for them, and the kids like decorated their cars, or their parents drove them, and they got like in the trunks or the convertibles, and like they were all throughout, like, because I live in a small town.
Me too.
Yeah, our town's, I don't know, 8,000 people, if that. I don't even know at the top of my head, but it's like, it's on the beach. So, and we had like everyone through like the like inner neighborhoods and stuff like that, just like decorate. And so we watched her do that or whatever. I feel really bad for her. And then I think one of my other cousins, he's graduating this year too. So it's really unfortunate for them, but
it really is unfortunate, the people who are eagerly anticipating graduation. Obviously, they can't do it with the terms going on right now, but obviously, just them graduating all in particular is just a great accomplishment no matter what. And although we're living in dark times right now, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel at the end of the day.
Yeah, they were still happy though. The kids liked it. They were like honking their horns, and we were like cheering on them. Like it was cool. It was cool stuff.
It was cool. But other than that, you've been good, man. What have you been doing lately?
I'm doing good. My girlfriend's sick, so we're just kind of not Corona sick. It's not any of those type stuff. So
good.
Good. I know some people have been, oh my gosh, she got the Corona.
I'm worried, man. I was worried for a second.
Well, one thing, she works out, and she had stopped for during this whole quarantine, was able to, the gym's opened back up, and she went really hard, so she was really sore, and then she was having like stomach problems and just like all sorts of stuff, so she's not doing so good, like she's like on the edge of, like, emotionally too. She's capped out. Like I'm like, I just like stayed away.
Bye-bye.
I was like, she was in her room, I was like, I'll watch Clone Wars. All right, I'll let you. So I've been doing that. And then I've been doing a lot of editing. My top 30 movies of all time came out.
To be honest, man, I only watched like the first 5 minutes, but I'm gonna finish the rest today. I can't.
No problems. I posted it late last night. I was gonna post it this morning, but yeah.
I actually got one of your favorite movies of all time in my upcoming Blu-ray haul, so you'll definitely
good. And so I did that, and then today I filled, well, at the time of this comes out, this video is already going to be out, but I did my Iron Man review for the MCU, so I did that.
Iron Man, fantastic movie.
Yeah, great. It gets better every time I watch it.
On the MCU rewatch, I finished Spider-Man: Homecoming yesterday.
Iron Man 4, you mean?
Yeah, Iron Man 4. I think that's the most overrated MCU movie, I think, for me personally. But then I'll get into Thor Ragnarok and Black Panther, which you think's overrated, but Yeah, now we're getting into kind of the overrated territory for the MCU, but still, I love the MCU no matter what.
Yeah, it's one of those. it was so fun to watch the first Iron Man because how grounded it was, and it wasn't this like it wasn't this big. I like Infinity War and Endgame, but it was cool just to see a solo.
It still holds up. It still holds up. Yeah,
the effects look great, and Robert Downey Jr. is obviously like perfect for the role, and Terrence Howard. I wish he ended up being a War Machine.
I agree. I agree. He was
so
great.
good in the first movie. They had such good. I like Don Cheadle a lot, but Don Cheadle was a little bit more of like a Boy Scout, a little bit like kind of like Tony, do your job. Like
Terrence Howard was like didn't give a shit. He said it right to your face.
Yeah, he was an extension of Tony Stark, but a little bit more serious. But man, that line in the film where he's like, "Next time, baby," when he's about to close, I'm like, why didn't he get this suit?
He wanted so much more money than Robert Downey Jr., and that was kind of the downfall for him.
He made more money than Robert Downey Jr. in the first one. He made I think he made $4.5 million, and Robert Downey Jr. made $500,000.
In the next movie, he wanted so much more, and I was like, all right, we can't do it with Terrence Howard. But then they just went with Don Cheadle, who's like the teammate type of guy.
He's great, yeah, he's great. But yeah, I'm really glad I'm rewatching MCU. Up next is the Incredible Hulk, and I'm being honest, I don't think I've seen the Incredible Hulk in like 7 years or something.
I only watch it whenever I'm doing an MCU marathon. And some people are gonna say, I think Incredible Hulk's really underrated. What's the wrong with you? I definitely get why people think it's underrated, but it's just a black sheep for me. Like there's good parts, there's bad parts, but I think the film altogether just didn't feel like an MCU movie. It was just added in last minute by Universal just because, Universal had the rights to Hulk. And so Marvel just decided they're going to build up this MCU. The Avengers is coming up. Let's just add Tony Stark in the end credit scene and just add it into the MCU. Just felt like a last.
Yeah, I see. I don't even really have a huge take on the film until I rewatch it. I'm just going to watch once a week. I wanted to watch it immediately after, but I was like, no, I need to pace myself so that way my thoughts for every review are fresh. So
Another thing I've been watching is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. You know who's seen that show that I was shocked?
It's so good.
Well, I was gonna say, you know who's seen that show that I was shocked by was my girlfriend. She saw all of it, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
It's a great show. It is so good.
Yeah, it's really good. She's like, "I'm not a big anime person, but it's really good." And I'm like, I've seen like bits and parts,
I remember like seeing all this stuff when I was a kid, and like I was in love with the show when I was a kid. Like, yeah, definitely watch this during quarantine, dude. It still holds up today. And
the animation looks good and stuff. It's something that I think I'll definitely enjoy, but I'll get to it. Now it'll be on Netflix for a while. You know how those contracts are, so they'll be on there for a while.
Yeah, phenomenal show. Love Avatar: The Last
Airbender. Who did it? Who was like the studio that did that? Like the
Nickelodeon.
TV? Was it Nickelodeon that did it?
Nickelodeon. Really? Yeah.
What?
I said when we did our top 5 cartoons we watched growing up, my list is going to be pretty much all Nickelodeon. So Avatar is Nickelodeon. I didn't know that.
Dude. I didn't know that was Nickelodeon. No, I didn't know. I thought it might. My first instinct was maybe Cartoon Network, not Nickelodeon.
No, it's Nickelodeon. Yeah,
it's funny that Clone Wars was originally Cartoon Network.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It was Cartoon Network. Now it's Disney. So.
Yeah,
but other than that, guys, we've just been, chilling, watching stuff during quarantine, making videos as well. But anyway, guys, before we get into all the fun movie news stuff, I'm sure you guys are wondering where you can watch us on this podcast besides YouTube. Well, hey, we have Google Play, we have iTunes, and Spotify at your guys' fingertips.
Leave us a review.
Yes, please leave us a review. We did get a very nice review from It's Mr. Movie over there. You can rate us as well if you want to give us like a 5 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 or a 0 out of 10. We'd love to hear your guys' opinions on us.
Don't give us a 0 out of 10.
Please don't give us a 0 out of 10. At least if you do, explain why, or don't just be a jackass, But anyway, we would appreciate it, guys, if you go follow us over on iTunes, Spotify, and Google Play. Anyway, Colin. There's so much exciting movie news to talk about.
This might be this is our 10th episode. 10th episode. So it's a big one. And like this might be the most, maybe not the most
jam-packed, meaty burger.
The most exciting ones.
Yeah, there's so much meat in this patty right now. So much. We got so much DC movie news to talk about in terms of Warner Brothers properties like the Snyder Cut. We got to talk about, Tenet and all that. We're going to get right into it, guys. Let's talk about our first topic, Colin, shall we? We got some trailers that dropped this past week. One is a joint film from Spike Lee, as well as Tenet. The final trailer for Tenet. Let's just talk about Tenet first, because we just got to talk about this trailer. Tenet, it still has the July 17th release date, but at the end of the trailer, it says coming to theaters. And now I noticed on Twitter, they changed the photo of the profile to coming to theaters, and now it went back to July 17th. So,
that's interesting.
Who knows if they're keeping the release date or not? That's the question right now. But this movie just looks phenomenal, Colin. Like this trailer might have surpassed like the first trailer for me. Just the whole Inception vibes that this movie's presenting us, like the plot and everything, this cop thriller, like these visual arts you see with cars flipping over and shit. It's awesome. And I have a theory with this. I do have a theory, Mr. Colin, that Mr. Griffin agrees with me. I think Robert Pattinson is going to be the villain in this movie. Now, I'm not just... I've had this theory since the first trailer.
Okay, I was going to say you've had since... Okay, cool, yeah.
Yeah, just something about his character looks suspicious to me. And whenever Robert Pattinson takes on something like cool like this, I'm like, this guy's going to do something. And it kind of presents like, you know, Kenneth Branagh is going to be this villain to kind of fear. But we know Nolan likes to pull the rug from under beneath us. So, Colin, I know you did a trailer reaction with Griffin, so I know your thoughts. Yeah. So, what were your thoughts? And anything, let's just talk about Tenet in particular. What this movie is going to do for the blockbuster genre, as well as filmmaking in the 2020s, like this decade. What's your thoughts on this, Colin, as far as this movie? What's it going to do for this upcoming decade?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was going to do a reaction, and then Griffin hit me. I was like, hey, I'm about to go live and react. You want to just do it together? Yeah, sure. And so we went on there and we watched it. And it kind of hit some of the similar beats of the first one. And because I've seen the first trailer so many times, it's almost kind of nostalgic a little bit, where I like know like the same beats and like the music and like the lines and stuff. So as of right now, like my first initial thought is I like the first trailer better, but that doesn't mean jack, because the second one still was awesome. The second one still looked good, but I mean, what's so cool about a lot of Christopher Nolan's trailers is we get the gist of this movie of Tenet, but we have not really an idea what it's about. We don't know what the main character's role is in this. We know that John David Washington. We don't know really Robert Pattinson's role in this. Kenneth Branagh, we don't really know his role in this. He's giving a Russian accent. That was pretty cool. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's got that intriguing parts, but we get the gist. And I mean, like, it's just kind of reverse time. There was that one sequence with the bullet, and it was going in his gun, not out, but he shot it. It was like, I don't know exactly like how it's going to be explained. Like, I actually watching this trailer the day that Griffin and I reviewed it on his channel. That night I watched Inception because it just got me pumped. And there's a moment in Inception where you are introduced to Ellen Page's character, and Leonardo DiCaprio is going through and kind of teaching her all the rules of Inception. We're going to get that in this film. We're going to get that. So that's I'm not worried about that whatsoever. Well, as far as like your other question about what it's going to do for the blockbuster, I think it can do wonders, because not even wonders. I think it's going to be telling, like how well it does in the box office tells us how comfortable people are about going back to the movies. It's just gonna. I'm excited to see. It's really interesting that they've stuck their ground. So, like, they're like, well, this movie's coming out in July. We think. We've constantly been doubting. Oh, it's gonna get delayed. Oh, let's go. Ooh, New York and California, they're not doing so hot. There's no way they're gonna make release the movie without those markets having movies open. And now they're still like sending a trailer. July 17th. They took it out the Bible. Nope, put it right back. Like, they want this movie to come out. Christopher Nolan wants this film to come out. And dude, the movie looks so epic.
It looks great.
The guy that did, I didn't know this.
Ludwig Göransson. He's such a great composer.
The guy that did
Academy Award winner, Ludwig Göransson for Black Panther.
I didn't know he did Mandalorian. Mandalorian scores.
Oh yeah, he did Mandalorian too.
Like the guitar, like the Western like sound.
That's such a good theme, like Ludwig
Yeah.
Göransson.
So that's my big takeaway was the score. Honestly, I mean, like it looks what Nolan does so well that's like actually shocking, and this is where Denis Villeneuve is flirting with this, but he hasn't quite got there. That's why I think Nolan's the more, I guess, acclaimed director. Now I'm not saying better. Is he's able to create really interesting and unique concepts that would go over so many people's head, but make it accessible to audiences to where they're able to understand it. And he's able to mix the intrigue of like an indie type film or like these like A24 stuff, but then makes it a blockbuster.
A blockbuster.
Yeah, but the Denis Villeneuve has been, I think, struggled a little bit to. He's come up with some really high concept stuff that is really close to hitting it for mainstream audiences. Film buffs love it. Movie buffs love it. But I think Dune is going to give him a great opportunity for him.
I think it'll get him to be kind of a recognized name.
Yeah. So that way people are able to be like, this is interesting. It's wacky. It's quirky, but it's accessible to audiences and it's thought provoking and auteur-esque. Nolan's bringing in his artistic flair, but then making it a blockbuster, and that's insane. That is insane. No filmmaker can do that. No, there's none that.
The problem is
getting close, but yeah.
The problem is Nolan has been doing this for a decade, and he has that name attached to him. No matter what, he's going to have those audiences flowing in, no matter what. If those theaters stay closed or not. I think the fans, some passionate film fans, are going to, kind of risk their lives, be kind of risk takers, see this movie on opening night. Wear a hazmat soon. I will do anything to see this movie on opening night. I'll survive the apocalypse.
You know what the trailer told me is I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it anywhere but the theaters. That's what the trailer said.
Yeah, this movie, they put the words "coming to theaters" for a reason. This is made to be seen in the theater. Yeah, and Nolan is this name that has an audience no matter what. He has a way to connect with the audience no matter what film he's making, whether it's the blockbuster fan audience or the artistic indie film audience. And with Denis Villeneuve, he's starting to come out of the shadows a little bit. And I think a film like Dune, which is a very popular sci-fi novel series, is going to get that sort of treatment now. And I hope that this film, Dune, inspires so many people to go check out Denis Villeneuve's other works, because he is at that same level right now with Nolan, making movies that makes you think and not just makes you think, oh, such big spectacle action and visuals and stuff like that. They both have something to tell with their voices, and I just want to see these movies right now because they both look so epic and amazing.
Yeah, this trailer, it looked great. It got me pumped.
Got us pumped. Again, with the downtimes, it got us pumped again. Got us hoping to get pumped sooner rather than later. Now, we got a new trailer from Spike Lee, his upcoming film To Five Bloods, with Chadwick Boseman and some other actors in there. Now, Spike Lee, he's one of my favorite filmmakers. If you watch my top 10 favorite directors video, he was in my honorable mentions. I do love Spike Lee's films, his joint films. Love BlacKkKlansman, starring John David Washington, the star of Tenet. I thought he easily was robbed from an Oscar nom. But this film, To Five Bloods, it seems like they're going more of the war movie Vietnam route, kind of like Apocalypse Now. You saw like an Apocalypse Now sign in the trailer, and it just seems like it's going for those Spike Lee-isms, but as well as feeling kind of like an auteur throwback style war film. Yeah, but Chadwick Boseman's in it. That gets me pumped already, and it's coming to Netflix on June 12th. That's going to be a big release week, Colin. King of Staten Island, as well as another movie, but it's going to be a big week that week.
Yeah, King of Staten Island looks good. We talked about that too.
Yeah. So, what's your thoughts on this, Colin? Are you excited for To Five Bloods, and what do you think of Spike Lee as a filmmaker?
I saw BlacKkKlansman. But yeah, he was extremely well made movie. This movie looks good. I'm excited to be able to see it at my home, fairly, soon, along with King of Staten Island. So that's gonna
King
be
of
like a
Staten
fun
Island.
little. Yeah, that's gonna be like a fun little weekend or whatever. So is it releasing on the same day as King of Staten Island? What day is that supposed to come out?
Oh, there we go. I found the other one that's coming out the same week. Artemis Fowl. That's also coming out on Disney Plus. Yeah,
Oh,
that's going to be a big release week.
so is it all the 12th? All
Yeah,
of them?
June 12th, man. That's going to be a big
Oh, I
release.
see. Okay, so what movie do you see first? King of Staten Island or The Five?
Oh, I'm seeing King of Staten Island first.
Yeah,
Like
King of
that
Staten Island
one.
looks more. They hit all the right beats. But as far as this
Yeah.
trailer, it looked good. But with Extraction and another action movie, I've kind of gotten that. Um, I've kind of scratched that itch a little bit. I need something like, and I'm not comparing it to Extraction a little bit, like that. They look different, but I'm saying an action, war type movie. The King of Staten Island got me a little bit more pumped, so that's an interesting weekend. If of course if they're coming out of theaters, we could do like a box office thing and like, hey, who's gonna win the box office? If we're
Yeah.
asking that, if we're asking that question, I think The Five wins. But still, I'm excited
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. Spike Lee is, he's a great filmmaker. I haven't seen all of his work, but he's a good filmmaker. Black Klansman was really good. I don't like Black Klansman as much as everybody else does, but I thought it was still really good.
Wow.
And so I'm excited.
Yeah,
And Chadwick Boseman. Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman, yeah, it looks great, man. It just looks like that throwback type of war comedy drama mixed into all in one. And Spike Lee, no matter what film he does, always gets me jacked and excited, no matter what. So, yeah, that's our thoughts on The Five Bloods. It looks great. It looks great. Can't wait to see it. Now, let's just get right into it. This is what you guys clicked on this video for. The Snyder Cut is coming. It's finally here, Colin. Whoever thought this would happen? 2017, when Justice League came out, everybody came out of it. Very divisive opinions all around. All the controversy with Justice League. We all know Zack Snyder stepped down as director because his daughter committed suicide. That's like a really serious subject matter. So then Joss Whedon took over and directed the rest of the movie. And people gave it crap because the Whedon cut was awful. It cut out so many things from the movie. The movie was originally going to be 4 hours long. It was Zack Snyder's take on it. All that bull crap. And so now people have been demanding, throwing out the hashtag release the Snyder Cut since 2017. And I've been annoyed to death of seeing the release the Snyder Cut hashtags everywhere on Twitter. And now, the power that social media has nowadays is just baffling to me and just shocking that Warner Brothers has found this, and then Zack Snyder showed the movie to them, and then they were like, all right, this Snyder Cut's a big deal, man. All right, let me throw you some $20-30 million on this thing and make it. Apparently, I heard he found out long before this whole thing, and so they had on social media, they had a Man of Steel watch party. Zack Snyder was there. And then Henry Cavill showed up at the end of the movie. And then they had this fan Q&A and all that, answering questions. Somebody asked about the Snyder Cut. And then Zack, through his sunglasses, you saw the Justice League photo. And then it said, the Snyder Cut coming to HBO Max in 2021. It was huge. It was big. Everybody was going crazy on Twitter.
I think I was the day was I told you I got a new phone, so I didn't have my phone for most of the day.
I was at work, dude. I was at work. All the big movie news and all the trailers drop when I'm at work.
Yeah, and I it was didn't have my phone, and it was at T-Mobile. I switched over to T-Mobile, and it was at getting updated or whatever, transferring stuff from my old phone. So I went home, went on my laptop, and I would go on Twitter, and she's like, "Release the Snyder Cut."
Everybody's saying the Snyder Cut, Ryan. The Snyder Cut's coming to HBO Max. I'm like, oh my god! And it finally happened. We kind of knew. Zack Snyder doing this Man of Steel watch party that the Snyder Cut's coming out. It's coming out. They're announcing it to HBO Max, and it's coming out, dude. It's coming out finally. We get Zack Snyder's true vision on the Justice League. It's going to be 4 hours long, streaming on HBO Max in 2021. You can either watch
4 hours or 6 episodes.
You can either watch 6 episodes of it, 4 hours total. I'm watching the whole thing. I don't care.
Well, they might decide to do it 6 episodes and then make it week to week so people are subscribed longer. That might be smarter, honestly.
Yeah, that might be a smarter idea. Yeah, keep those audience engaged no matter what. But no matter what they do with the Snyder Cut, I'm going to be there to watch it on day one and review it. So yeah, Colin, the Snyder Cut's finally coming out. This has been a thing for like 3+ years. What does this do for the DCU in the future? Zack Snyder, what are you hoping to see in the Snyder Cut? What do you think it will do moving forward? That's a question I want to ask you, man. What's your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of felt like it was just building that momentum. You see just Zack Snyder's name pop up more. Jason Momoa saying release the Snyder Cut. Some of the cast members are.
Yeah, Gal Gadot.
So you're like, this sounds like it might be actually happening. And then people, mention HBO Max, and you're just not really, not sure if it'd be finished and stuff. The fact that this shows the the power of social media is insane, because if some people didn't like complain or ask for this for so many years, this wouldn't happen. You know what I mean? And it's funny how influential the audience can be in today's just space, because like Sonic, for example, that people complained about the design gets changed. People complain about not having the Snyder Cut. We get the Snyder Cut. It's like, I don't know if it's a good thing. I think in this particular instance, it's good that someone's vision is being fulfilled. But at the same point, I will say, I think it sets a little bit of a bad precedent that we're just going to whine and complain until the movie fans get what they want. But not everyone was complaining; they were just asking. There's not all fans are toxic, and I think there's people asking for the Snyder Cut, meaning it from the bottom of their heart. Like, I think with passion, thinking like saying like, oh, I think he should fulfill his vision. There's some people that were do it like in an annoying way, but I think certain aspects of it's a little concerning where it's like, I don't know what kind of precedent and like expectations it's going to set for other. Was any bad movie? Are we going to ask for a director's cut of it when it has studio? Are we going to ask for Josh Trank's version of?
People are still demanding. People are still demanding season 8 rewrite for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's just we have at one point we as fans need to accept things for how they are. This is no exception. This isn't the exception. This is the exception. I'm sorry. This is the exception though, because I think Zack Snyder deserved a shot, especially with. His what happened with his daughter. He had to step down. Then the studio interference, bringing in the 2-hour mandate, and then Warner Brothers has proven that they're listening to fans more and more and more. This is listening to fans in a good way, because I just mentioned how it can be toxic, but this way it's good in certain instances. And as far as what the film can do, one, it's going to be interesting because this film is going to come out the same year as the Batman, so we're going to get 2 Batmans in the same years.
I think they'll be completely different.
It'll be different and stuff like that. And then, I don't know what it doesn't really. When you ask like how much does it do for the DCU, I would say virtually nothing. I don't think it does anything to the DCU. I think it's just we're seeing a man's take on his original film, and Joss Whedon. We can hate on him for what he did for Justice League, but he was just a guy there to do a job. They paid him money to do it, had to step into a really hard situation with all these restrictions and mandates, and had to try and do the best he can. And as underwhelming as Justice League is, it's not Catwoman, it's not Green Lantern. It's still watchable. And like, it's actually, I kind of liked it when I first saw it. And then it's like, you think about it and you're like, oh, like this is Justice League. And it was just like it was just kind of, whatever. I wouldn't call it bad, but I it's very underwhelming. And we would like something with that Zack Snyder flair. Zack Snyder is interesting to me, and I'll ask you this question because I love Man of Steel. Love it.
Love Man of Steel.
And then Batman v Superman, I'm not the biggest fan of, although over the years I've respected more and more because of, I don't know, he was very ambitious,
Ultimate
I guess.
Edition. It makes that whole movie better. Yeah.
See, even the Ultimate Edition, like, it's just like I don't need. It's longer and stuff. And like I guess it flushed out the characters, but with how long BVS actually was, he should have been able to flush out those themes or cut things out. You don't have to set up the Justice League or whatever in that film. So I think there could have been parts where it's just like you don't need an Ultimate Edition to make the movie better. You just make the first one better originally by not adding in those things, and then make the movie longer in an Ultimate Edition. I don't necessarily agree with that. So people say, "Oh, the Ultimate Edition." It's like, yeah, most people get one chance to make a movie. You should now. No, so that's a little bit. I'm not like, oh, the Ultimate Edition obviously honestly makes BVS better. regardless, I was disappointed when I saw BVS. Again, I'm nicer on it over the years, especially after seeing Suicide Squad and Justice League, which so I'm mixed on Zack Snyder is what I'm saying. So and let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. This Justice League's it's not going to be a crowd pleaser. It's going to be controversial because all of his movies are controversial.
Everything's controversial. It's 2020.
No, but his movies are always controversial. They always are. There's no movie that's just like, oh, that's great. Not everyone loves his movies.
The weather is controversial.
Yeah.
Episode time. Yeah, so I totally agree with what you're saying about Batman v Superman. Just it has those divisive opinions. You're gonna get those divisive opinions from people. Everybody has their own opinions, but I think the Ultimate Edition definitely improved upon the theatrical edition. Yeah, I agree. Like, many people just complain a little too much about certain things. You can't always get what you want, but something like the Snyder Cut makes sense because Zack Snyder had a very serious situation. He didn't get to have his vision put on screen for the Justice League, and Joss Whedon just like stepped in last minute and just finished the movie as what the studio wanted. Like, it wasn't what Zack wanted. They took out so many things from the theatrical edition. Green Lantern, like Deathstroke, all these things. That the runtime was shortened to 2 hours. 2 hours? That
it's funny. My dad always complains about how movies are so long, and he likes some comic book. Like, he's the biggest fan of the Joker. He loved the Joker, but he liked like the first few Avengers and Iron Mans. But then, and he liked Endgame and Infinity War. Okay, but he just, even like Star Wars, like franchise he grew up watching. He's like, another one, he's just exhausted by like the block.
Another one.
Yeah, but with Justice League, he saw it in like unbelievably low expectations, and he looked at me. I liked it. He's like, it was short. It was to the point. When Superman came in, they did the right thing. He just beat the crap out of everybody, and it was over. And you got to respect that as a person who doesn't connect to it as much as we do. They watch it and they're like, oh, that was fun. All right, never think about it ever again. So
I'm just excited to see not that CGI face.
So how are they going to fix that, though? Because there is shots of how do they make that better? First of all, how was it so bad in the beginning? How do you greenlight that? I don't understand.
Well, they fixed it with Mission Impossible Fallout and made the mustache worth it.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point.
It made it work. It made it fit.
Okay, so do you think the movie's going to be good, or do you think it doesn't even matter because it's cool that someone gets his vision? Because that's what I think.
I just wanted to see Zack Snyder's vision from the start.
So you don't care if it's good or not?
If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's great. Because I just wanted to see. I want to see this movie, how different it's going to be, and I think it will be very different from what we saw.
He said he's never even seen the theatrical cut. Isn't that crazy?
Good, he shouldn't. Like, just get his name off of that. Like, I agree. Something Zack tweeted.
He didn't direct the movie. I don't know why.
I agree with what Zack said on his Twitter. Like, get his director's credit off of that movie. Like, and. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to add new things in. I really hope they add in Deathstroke into this movie because he was thrown in the end credit scene. I'm like, God damn it. And all these other things like Martian the Manhunter, some other things, Green Lantern as well. Like, there was supposed to be like this huge battle that you saw with Green Lantern thrown in there. That was supposed to be longer. That was supposed to be longer. You saw like the Themyscirans all join in, the Atlanteans. Like, there's supposed to be like this huge, big, gigantic battle.
And they're throwing like $30 million. $30 million.
They're putting $30 million into finishing this movie. And so they said it's just going to be like special effects added and like no reshoots.
Yeah. The reshoots wouldn't make any sense because
that wouldn't make sense either.
Yeah, you're gonna bring Ben Affleck back and Henry Cavill, who've been dissed by well, Gal Gadot's the one that only makes any sense because she's still kind of a part of this universe.
Yeah, she would do it. Momoa
Momoa would do it. Maybe Ezra Miller.
Also, Ray Fisher, Cyborg. He was supposed to be the main character of this movie.
That's a great point because I would love to see more. He did nothing.
The football side. Somebody posted as something with him playing football. Like, I was wondering where was that in the movie? They cut it out. Yeah. He was supposed to be the main character in Justice League. And so I want to, and that there's a reason why Cyborg was the most boring character in that movie.
I just completely forgot him. I literally forgot he was in in the movie.
Like,
That's how
he should have been the. They did nothing with him. They took out of his backstory, and so he's supposed to be the main character.
Apparently all the jokey stuff in Justice League. Actually, Zack Snyder, that was still part of his vision. Like, he still wanted to make it a little bit more fun,
lighthearted.
So still a little bit more lighthearted, but still have that Zack Snyder flair to it.
Yeah, but the thing with the MCU, it has those lighthearted moments, but at least it has characters to resonate with and conflict like, at the same time.
Hey, as long as we don't see Batman laying on the floor going, then I'm good.
Martha! And don't bring your screenwriter back, Zack Snyder, then I think you'll be fine.
So how does this work? Is he going to bring his original crew back, Zack Snyder?
That's the thing. That's the thing. The biggest issue with all of Zack Snyder's movies is his screenplay writers. Like,
yeah, the writing.
That's the only thing that's concerning me. That's the only thing. But
visuals are great, but who's gonna like edit the movie? Is he gonna edit? I mean, I'm sure they'll hire someone, but I know sometimes like Josh Trank edited. What did he just do? I already forgot about the movie. Capone. He edited his own movie. That movie.
Oh God. Oh, don't remind me again of that. Yeah. So regardless. Just everything visually, I'm not worried about with this movie. Just the script, just easily the script is what I'm worried about.
Some people are gonna say stuff like, "Oh, it can only be up from here because this thing was so bad." I don't think that's necessarily true, because just because things are Zack Snydery and has his vision doesn't mean it's going to be automatically better. We saw that with Batman v Superman. So I mean, it's an acquired taste. I mean, if you like Zack Snyder's filmmaking, and I've been mixed on him. I love Man of Steel, don't like Batman. So
also Flash.
Flash. I mean, this is weird, not weird news. It's really exciting news because things like this just like how do things like this happen? Like you're gonna be able to remake a movie because fans asked for it. That's like think about that.
It's the new age of 2020.
Just outrage. It's outrage culture. You just, I want this. But like I said, in most cases, I would not like this. But in this rare instance, I think he deserves a second shot because he just didn't really get to do much with it anyway because of the tragedy and all that stuff. So this is one of those rare instances where I'm like, yes, he gets a chance. But every single time a movie's bad, we can't just complain about it and want a new one. That's not. We can't do that. So let's just. This is going to set a bad precedent unintentionally. By mistake, so I hope it doesn't. But it's
enough with the remake Game of Thrones season 8. Enough with that crap. We're not getting it. But this makes sense. It totally makes sense. I'm so excited for the Snyder Cut. This is the reason I'm getting HBO Max when it comes out. I'm not getting HBO Max on week 1. It just doesn't interest me. But when
you're gonna get it when the film comes
out. When the Snyder Cut comes out, I'm getting it no matter what.
What is even going to be on HBO Max? Like, it's going to be a lot of DC stuff.
I heard, like, Joker, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, like, all these Warner Brothers movies supposed to be on there. But if you guys know anything that interests us...
And it's bundled with HBO, like, with already HBO stuff, I guess.
Yeah, right? Pretty much like anything Warner Brothers. Pretty much.
But then it's HBO content like Game of Thrones or whatever, right?
Yeah, Game of Thrones is going to be on there. Westworld's going to be on there. All that HBO stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like what was the point again? Game of Thrones. I already have them on Blu-ray. So anyway, Snyder Cut's finally coming out. Super pumped for it. It looks like it's going to be amazing. Hopefully, it's amazing and not disappointing because this is something fans want, and it's finally happened. It's coming.
It's coming.
All right. So now let's go to our next topic, Colin. Now this isn't. I have really no take on this at all. So Tom Hanks's film Greyhound. I don't know if you saw the trailer for this movie.
Yeah, I thought it looked good. Yeah,
I actually saw the trailer for this when the last time I was in theaters, which was Bloodshot. Greyhound, a new Tom Hanks war movie. It is not coming to theaters. It's going straight to Apple Plus TV. Now, I don't have Apple Plus TV, so I haven't seen. Many people have been asking me, have I seen Defending Jacob yet? I haven't seen it because I don't have.
Well, we were talking about you need to upgrade your new phone. If you get a new iPhone, you get it for free. Apple TV Plus.
Oh, cool.
So you should maybe think about doing that.
Yeah, we'll see. So anyway, I don't really have much to say about Greyhound. It looks great. It looks cool. It looks like a new Tom Hanks movie. Saw the trailer for it a couple times, and it looks good. it looks good, but usually with trailers like this, it could look kind of too pretentious or generic or stuff like that. But it's Tom Hanks in the lead role. Like, no
And he's
matter what,
directing it too, and writing
and
it, I
he's
believe.
directing, yeah. If Tom Hanks, no matter what, directing, writing, or starring, I'm gonna go see it, no matter what. So anyway, so with this movie, Colin, are you gonna get Apple Plus TV just to watch this movie?
I
That's the
already have it.
question.
Yeah. Well,
You
I already
already
have
have
it.
it, but let me ask you this. Is it going to be worth it just to purchase Apple Plus TV, or whether or not if you upgrade your iPhone or not?
I would say yes, because
Is it
Apple
worth
TV
it to get Apple Plus just for this movie?
It is, because it gets so cheap. Apple TV Plus is like $4.99 a month, so you can get like a free trial, watch the movie, and then cancel. Honestly, if you already don't have it, so I mean, this is one of those weird instances though where another movie is going straight to streaming. It's odd, it's weird, it's out of the ordinary, so to speak.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I saw the trailer. I thought it looked good. It fits the Apple TV Plus model. Apple TV seems like going for more of the serious route. You know, they're kind of going that HBO route where, like, HBO's like it's got those, you know, hard hitting dramas. I guess something like that. Did you have something to add?
You know when it's coming out?
When? I don't know.
Famous King of Staten Island, June 12th. So we got 4 movies coming out that same week. Oh my god!
Same week or the same day?
The same week, man. Same week.
So what? Okay, so
Jeez.
Find out. So what movie's coming out what day? I need to know.
I mean, yeah, it says June 12th, so I don't know if this is accurate or not. I checked Wikipedia. It doesn't say June 12th, so I don't know what's right or wrong. If it is coming out on June... Was it supposed to come out June 12th in theaters? Or
that's probably it. Yeah,
probably why. Yeah, yeah, they probably are going to delay it and push it to Apple Plus.
Yeah, just like the Lovebirds did, because this was come out. They got out by Netflix, and it went out a little bit later. I saw Lovebirds. Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right.
I saw it. I mean, the leads were good, but the story I didn't give absolute crap about.
Me too. That was my only big issue.
I was like, okay, I knew. I remember I went on my computer for like 2 seconds to make a thumbnail because I was uploading my video yesterday, and I didn't really see what happened at this one point, and then something happens later in the film, and I guessed what was happening without the information that was probably given to me earlier, and I looked at my girlfriend. I was like, did that happen? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh. So I was able to tell that, and I didn't even watch that part. Anyway, Apple TV Plus is actually, off topic. Apple TV Plus is actually pretty good. For All Mankind is a show about what would happen if the Russians landed on the moon first, or not what would happen. It does happen in the show, and it's like in the 60s and 70s, and it's so freaking good. And then the morning show was our flagship show. It was pretty good. I don't think it's as good as For All Mankind. And then I haven't seen Defending Jacob, but because it comes out week to week, and I just got a new Apple. I think I'd stopped going on Apple TV Plus for a little bit. I watched when it first launched. And then I got my phone, so I got it for free again. So I'm gonna definitely watch Defending Jacob, especially before the season actually ends.
Yeah, Chris Evans and Jaden Martell.
So I mean, it's $4.99. I think it's worth it to get Greyhound, and Tom Hanks. I love when actors direct. I think it's so cool. That's why I love Clint Eastwood. Because he directs and stars.
Taking inspiration, from Clint Eastwood.
Well, you were like, who's the guy that who was in Dances with Wolves that directed the movie too? Kevin Costner. So it's like I just love stories like that. I just love directors. You know who directed a movie that was really underrated was Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He did Don John.
Great movie.
It's a great movie. So I just love.
You love romantic comedies, coming of age, pretty much those type of real.
And that's why I'm excited for King of Staten Island. But yeah, so directors starring in their movies or actors directing movies, I'm just a sucker for. I just respect it a lot because it's so easy. But I could be in front of the camera. No, they want to get behind the camera. They want to get down and dirty. And Tom Hanks is doing that in a film that looks good. It's about it's World War II There's some, I think the naval aspect of it, I believe.
Yeah, then it's some Navy. Yeah.
So it kind of reminded me of a little bit, and this isn't actually it's not a compliment, but Midway, and the
Oh
trailers look good.
my god.
The trailers look good, at least. The trailers look good. So.
Oh my god, I hate that you brought that movie up. Oh my god, that movie sucks.
I remember my dad texted me. He was like, "I'm going to see Midway," and I didn't say anything because I didn't want to ruin it for him. And he was like, afterwards, like, "Man, that was awful." I was like,
"Sucks that movie." You think Michael Bay directed that movie? Oh my god, that movie's awful. Anyway, so yeah, Tom Hanks, Elizabeth Shue, the whole cast of the movie. Yeah, it looks good. Hopefully, it's good. I'll probably
find out. We gotta find it when it comes out too. Yeah, and get Apple TV Plus.
I'll get Apple TV Plus. We'll see. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what this movie's about. Anyway, so that's our take on Greyhound coming to Apple Plus TV. So now this is interesting, Colin. This is interesting news. We don't know if it's official yet. So they're debating that the 2021 Oscars might be canceled altogether, and I won't be surprised, in all honesty. No matter what, if the Oscars are canceled, no matter what, because of the pandemic going on right now, and movies aren't in theaters right now. So there's just questions. Yeah. They changed things with the Oscars rulings in case, they shortened the sound category to just one category. They added in streaming service movies in contention now because of this. So Colin, this is big stuff no matter what. I know you don't care much about the Oscars no matter what.
No, I do.
Yeah, but
I used to not care, but now I care.
I care now. So what if this does get canceled? Is this big? Like the year following, could they add in more movies to the contention? Or if this does happen, what are they going to do? Like what?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on all this, man? Because I got some stuff to say.
I mean, I used to not just by default didn't care about the Oscars because I didn't ever see those movies that came out because it'd be all these movies no one saw. But now they had a great year last year where people actually saw the movies that were nominated. And I do movie reviews on YouTube now, so I pretty much see everything I can. So by default, I'm gonna watch the Oscars more and more. And then my most popular video on my channel is the Oscar reaction video. So I'm like, I think I'm indebted to the Oscars a little bit for that. So, I don't think it's gonna get canceled. I don't think it will. I think they'll move it back, and then just include if we get it in April or something like that. And then you should include some 2021 movies in that release. So it'd be kind of 2020 movies, and then think about movies that have come out now that we saw before the pandemic. None of them were Oscar contenders. None of them. Maybe The Way Back, maybe, but I don't think it was. I don't think it really has a chance. Unless with what's going on.
They say streaming service. So what streaming service movie could be in contention?
Maybe The King of Staten Island. The King of Staten
Island. Defy Bloods. Spike Lee.
The King of Staten Island is the only VOD. Well, Scoob introduced that. Scoob I was excited for, and I didn't like it.
You didn't like it.
Still, The Streak's on. I saw The Lovebirds. It's the best streaming. The best movie I've seen since theaters got or canceled.
The best streaming service movie you've seen.
It's the best one I've seen so far, and it's
for me.
My 9th favorite film. Yeah, Extraction sucked too. So all of them have been bad. All of them have been bad. They're just all. I'm sorry, they've just all been bad. But so needless to say, we need theaters to open back up. We need Tenet to open in theaters and open in theaters and whatever, so that way we can have an Oscars. And I think it'll happen. I think things are gonna get better. I'm just optimistic like that. I'm just gonna say that until all of a sudden it's not anymore. But I think a lot of Oscar bait movies usually come out at the end of the year anyway. True. So I just don't see
maybe that one summer movie that gets the Oscar.
Yeah, I just think
last year.
Yeah, I just think they'll make it longer, until we actually have it. Just have it in 2021 in April or March or something like that, and so some more time. So there'll be some 2021 movies that'll qualify for it, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, and no matter what the Oscars do, have a lot of movies, like you said, that come out later in the year, no matter what happens. It's going to be interesting, no matter what, if this gets canceled or not. How are they going to go about the process when those theaters do open back up, whenever? I think it just comes down to whatever both markets provide, and the theaters as well as streaming service. And could they have the ceremony as usual in February of next year, or could they push it back to maybe May of 2021 or April? When we just have no idea what the future lies ahead in terms of that. It's just a question of when those theaters are going to open back up and what they're going to do, and if there's going to be enough contention to have an award ceremony. And if they cancel it, then who knows what they're going to do? Are they just going to wait? Are they going to wait all of next year and then have it in 2022? We just don't know, man. It's just what a crazy time we're living in. Who would ever think this all would happen? No one.
Yeah. No. It's funny. It's funny. It's like I was just thought about my cousin who was graduating. It's like there's no way when she was a freshman, she's like, oh, like when you walk in high school, oh, one day I'm gonna graduate. You know, it's like there's no way she would have like thought about how she's gonna have it's not gonna be able to graduate. It's insane. It's insane.
I'm predicting A Quiet Place 2 is gonna get delayed. And no one can say that. No one can say that. So
no.
It's just sad, really sad times. But
it makes
because I look forward to the Oscars. This is like the Super Bowl for me. I don't
now I do. Like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan because I don't like woke Hollywood. But at the same time, it's the only thing is it's 45 seconds of them saying dumb crap on stage. I mean, I'm a grown man. I could take it like a man, and it's whatever. But the main reason why is because I didn't watch The Shape of Water or whatever. So I watched. And because I started a movie channel, I've always loved movies, but because I started a movie channel, I watched everything that came out last year. So I was like, oh, well, now it makes sense to watch the Oscars because all the Best Picture nominees I saw.
You've seen.
I saw them all. So
yeah. You should definitely watch Jay Bader's video on last year's Oscars. It is so funny. I mean, this year's Oscars, because everything you just said is what he talked about: woke Hollywood bullshit, all that stuff.
I mean, what was Joaquin Phoenix's? What was he even saying? That was the dumbest. I like Joaquin Phoenix, but that was the dumbest crap I've ever heard.
It went on. Renee Zellweger went on for like 20 minutes. I'm like, oh my god, we're still
the only
talking
one that
about
was any. The only one that was any good was Brad Pitt. That was like the only
Brad
one.
And
Laura Dern, I liked hers as well.
Laura Dern was good, but Brad Pitt like stole the night in terms of Oscar speeches. Everything he said was great.
It was.
Yeah. So anyway, so the 2021 Oscars, this is something I look forward to. I look forward to the Oscar season every year, doing, a live reaction to the whole Oscar night, which goes on.
We should do that. We should, if it goes on, we should
do that together, man. If this Oscars does happen, you and I, we should watch the whole show together and just react to it. So this is like the Super Bowl for us movie fans. Even though I don't watch the Super Bowl as much, except if my Patriots, they're not going to be whenever they were on.
They'll be all right.
Hey, we play each other week 1. So
hey, did Cam Newton? Did they end up going? He ended up going to the Patriots. So I think that you should. Did he not go?
We still have two rookie quarterbacks. We have Jared Stidham and stuff like that. Yeah. So anyway, not talking football, but the Oscars, will it be canceled? That is the question. I don't think it will. We'll see what happens.
No, I think it'll be okay. Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay, Colin. So now let's go to our next topic now. I think this is just dumb altogether. So, Frank Marshall, the creator of the new Jurassic World series, that has been created at Universal, is saying that the upcoming Jurassic World movie that was supposed to, I think, come out next year. I don't know if it got delayed or not. Jurassic World Dominion will not be the conclusion for the franchise, but will instead be the start of a new era. Insert Jurassic Park music. Okay.
Rant. I don't really have much thoughts. It sounds stupid, but whatever.
It's just dumb. Really dumb. Now, I did not like Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I thought that movie was shit. It was awful, dude. Just everything they did with that movie just seemed like they were starting new things for the Jurassic Park series. Like with Jurassic World Dominion, it seems like they were opening the gateways to new things evolving. And then you have the original cast returning. You got Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, and Sam Neill. They're all coming back for this movie. It just seems like it's going to do...
I'm excited for that, though.
And it just seems like everything they're doing with this upcoming movie, it seemed like it would be the conclusion. But no, they're saying it's the start of a new era. A new era, Colin. Like, oh my God. Head roll. Like,
I don't know what that means, though. I don't know what that means.
I'm saying, have you seen the other Jurassic Park movies?
Yes.
Have you seen all of them?
No, I haven't. The only ones I've seen is the first Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Yeah, so the first Jurassic Park...
Those are the only ones I hear that are any good. So
yeah, the first Jurassic Park's amazing. It was so good. Great. Just because Steven Spielberg just took the idea of putting dinosaurs in the movie. Yeah,
well, I will say I did make my honorable mentions for my...
Yeah, it's my favorite Steven Spielberg movie for sure. Just everything they did with that movie was just, it had dinosaurs in it, but you had relatable human characters, and it sounded like it could stand on its own. But no, you create a smart franchise to do it. But then the second one as well was doing the same things as the first one. And then the third one just goes off the rail completely from what they did with the first two films. And then you introduce Jurassic World, which was a cool idea. I actually enjoyed Jurassic World. I didn't hate it like a majority of people did. Chris Pratt was so good in there. It was fun. Just that whole movie.
Bryce Dallas Howard too.
Yeah, and then you go to directed Mandalorian. And then they go with Fallen Kingdom. It seemed like it could be an epic sequel, but it was awful. Just everything they did.
I heard it's bad.
Everything people said with Last Jedi and how bad that movie was. Like, watch Fallen Kingdom. That movie is Last Jedi. My God, everything they did in that movie did not work for me. Oh my God, that movie's awful. It just took our characters and just made them even more unlikable. It took Chris Pratt, make him even more unlikable. And Chris Pratt is the most likable dude in Hollywood.
He's seriously the most. And you know what I like about him? We just talked about woke Hollywood. He's like the only one who's not woke. Like, he's not woke.
Chris Pratt is not woke. Anyway, so yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard, the way they took her character throughout these two movies, just not good. It's just not good. These characters are not likable, not enjoyable. And then they had Jeff Goldblum in Fallen Kingdom for like 3 minutes, dude. 3 minutes. People went into that movie expecting to see Ian Malcolm, and I said to people, you're going to walk out really disappointed. Like, he's not even going to be in the movie that long. And he's in it for like 3 or 2 minutes.
I love his character.
Yeah, he's in it for like the first act, and then the last 5 minutes of the movie, he says, "Welcome to Jurassic World." That's it. That's all he says. I'm like, you movie. So I'm not excited at all for this at all.
Yeah, I don't have much of a take. It sounds dumb, but Colin Trevorrow, who our lovely Colin Trevorrow,
he should have done Rise of Skywalker.
He should have done Rise of Skywalker, as we know.
Colin Trevorrow cut. Trevorrow cut.
Hashtag Trevorrow cut. That's what I want to see. But that'd be more hashtag. That would be more than $30 million to do that. To be redoing the whole movie. But what I will say is, I like Jurassic World, which he directed, and so yeah, I don't know. I don't care. This news doesn't really. It's like I take it or leave it for me. It's like, yeah, it sounds kind of dumb, but I mean, who knows? What if the movie's good and we like what it sets up, and then all of a sudden the movie after that seems good? I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, just everything leading up to Fallen Kingdom, it just went down a plain hill, and so with this new news, just
it's just a retread. The only thing I don't like about Jurassic Park, like these movies, from what I'm getting at, because again, I haven't seen all of them, but like even the ones I've seen, it's like they're in a part. It's like, how many movies can you do with this premise? Is what I'm trying to say. Like,
it's just recycled. It's just really recycled. Like, none of it makes sense at all.
What I liked about Jurassic World is it was kind of Jurassic Park, like the creator of Jurassic Park's his vision for Jurassic World is finally fulfilled. You know, they had that theme park, so I kind of like that aspect and stuff. That's why it was kind of different. That's why I liked it too. But yeah.
I liked it. Yeah, what they
So
did was in the
needless to
first.
say, it seems like I've only seen like the good ones, or the like.
Yeah, I
so
don't blame you.
so I heard the second one's actually not bad, but I heard the third one's not good.
Yeah, Jurassic Park 3 is awful, but Lost World's pretty good. It gets pretty good. It's pretty good. But anyway, this is just dumb altogether. I'm sick and tired of creating, classic franchise, making new universes out of it. Like look what happened with Star Wars. It just doesn't work. It just seems like they're going for the Rise of Skywalker approach to the Jurassic Park franchise, creating a new era, and it sounds really stupid. And so
It sounds really stupid.
yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Anyway, if you guys disagree with me, let me know. Anyway, so
I disagree, Ryan. I disagree.
Colin disagrees with me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that concludes the movie news, Colin. We talked pretty much all the movie news. That was some great news to talk about.
Yeah, we did not as many movie news. We usually do quite a bit, but this one was beefier for sure because we had
so much meat in the burger.
Yeah.
Anyway, vegetarians click dislike, unsubscribe, but vegans. Anyway, so Colin, let's go to our next topic here. Let's just get to the underrated and overrated movie picks of the week. This is what Colin and I look forward to every single week. Seeing our picks, seeing how much we agree or disagree. We mostly disagree. So hopefully we can agree this week. And I'll go first. I'll go first this time and start. Let's just go right into the overrated.
Yeah, let's just jump right in. Let's make some people mad.
Let's get controversial.
Let's get real controversial.
All right, so for my overrated pick this week, I'm gonna go with another Oscar contending movie.
That's your thing. You like to do
kind of. I go for the trends of the Oscar nominated film because,
but that's overrated. It's overrated because I mean not overrated, but has a chance to be because you can't say it's underrated because it was literally nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah, kind of like you said, the woke Hollywood agendas. But this one is not a woke film. It's just it's a personal film, and people are gonna hate me for this choice because they love this filmmaker, and I love this filmmaker too. I love this one film he did. The other film he did was kind of overrated for me as well. I'm going with Roma, Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
No. Oh, you didn't see it? Okay. So Roma, I saw this movie on Netflix. It was released on Netflix during Oscar season. And people are hyping this movie up, saying top 5 best movies of 2018. It's got lots of Oscar nominations. Cuarón won Best Picture. But Alfonso Cuarón won Best Director for this movie. And the lead actresses of this movie both were nominated for actress and supporting actress. So a lot of, It's a film about Alfonso Cuarón and his childhood, and it depicted his childhood perfectly and everything that happened. And I liked the movie, but I didn't love it, and I wasn't invested with the film. And to be honest, I fell asleep for like 5 to 10 minutes during this movie, the second act of the film. I just dozed off. It has those indie vibes to it, and it has those Oscar baity vibes to it at the same time. And for people who love the movie, I definitely get why. It's Cuarón telling his life story and his vision, and he totally, he won Best Director, which is deserved. He's a great filmmaker, and I just think this movie altogether, when you talk of like some of the best films of the past decade, whenever people put this movie on here, I'm like, no, there's way better movies than this. Come on now. And it's kind of recency bias as well. Like, I could be kind of recency bias a lot, but at least those movies, they stick with you. But something like Roma doesn't stick with you. It's a beautiful painting you look at once.
Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, that's a perfect way to describe it. It's like I feel like it's one of those movies that I feel like I'll like, but I'll kind of forget about. I don't know. It gives that vibe to me as well, even though I haven't even seen it. So maybe I shouldn't even say that, but that's kind of what I was kind of thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. So Roma, it's a beautiful looking movie. Definitely deserves cinematography Oscar. I will just say that. The movie shot gorgeously, but everything else couldn't care less about it. Wasn't my type of movie. That's it. Colin, you haven't seen it, so what's your overrated pick?
This movie I still like it. It's just not. It's oh my god.
I'm not looking forward to this. I'm curious.
Oh my god. Here we go. The other guys. The other guys.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
not mad.
Okay, you're not mad. All right.
I'm more of a
Yeah,
Step Brothers guy.
yeah. Even I don't know. It's just the other guys. Is just it's fine. I mean, there's certainly some moments that are like hilarious, but it's like it's kind of all over the place to me. I feel like we just jump from scene to scene to scene, and it's just kind of I don't know. I just it has a style to it, and I like that. And obviously, Mark Wahlberg is really funny in it. I think Will Ferrell's great in it too. There's like a bit where he's doing that, like Gator don't play no shit. Gator never been about that. Gator never been about. Yeah, yeah. So I like that part. But besides that, I don't know. I feel like what I don't like about it is it's mean spirited. I don't like. I don't know. It just feels mean spirited. I like comedies that like Superbad is like either it's in the core of it, yeah, like they're trying to get laid and they're trying to get drunk and whatever, but it's like about these friends kind of growing apart but then trying not to, and it's kind of heartwarming in a certain sense. And this film, I just feel like it was just mean spirited. I don't know. It's kind of like Guardians 2, where it's my biggest problem with Guardians 2 is mean spirited,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know. I think there's funny bits to it, but everyone like my stepdad like loves this movie.
Yeah, you guys have different tastes, really different tastes.
I got different tastes.
No, you and your dad, you got really different tastes.
Oh, well, this is my stepdad. My stepdad.
Yeah, your stepdad.
So, yeah. So like my dad and I probably have different tastes too. Like he was the one I was talking about, the Joker, but my stepdad. He's my stepdad. He likes. I don't know what he likes. This is the only movie I know he likes. I'm being serious. I think he likes this movie and Star Wars. Those are the only ones I like that I know he likes. Yeah. What's funny about my dad is we have in certain instances we have very similar tastes, but then it's like the blockbuster comic book stuff that he just doesn't fully resonate with, and that's where we disagree, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, other guys, it's just I don't know, it's overrated. Like it's just all there is to it. It's like it's fine, but like everyone acts like it's so hilarious, and I just not there yet. I'll never be there, and there's funny bits to it, but not really for me. Your thoughts on the film? Do you think it's overrated? Or?
Yeah, I don't love it too. It's definitely funny at parts, but it's not a comedy that I laugh out loud hysterically to. So
it's not one I want to.
I kind of agree.
Like Step Brothers, even though
I'm more.
Go ahead.
Yeah, with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, they're both really funny together. I enjoy them in what's that other film? Oh my god, was it Daddy's Home? Yeah, the first Daddy's Home, not Daddy's Home.
It was so bad.
Daddy's Home 2 was god awful. The second one's worse, bro. The second one is worse. I like that one.
I know.
I like that more than this one. But anyway, when it comes to Will Ferrell, I'll just watch Step Brothers and Elf. That's just all I'll watch. But yeah, I don't have much of a take on it. I definitely kind of agree with you.
Okay.
All right, so now let's go to my underrated pick of the week. This is a movie you probably never heard of or seen. This is a movie called Revenge. It's an action movie. It's a revenge movie, obviously, by the title.
Really?
It's just about, it's about this girl out in the middle of the desert, and she's with these rich people, these rich guys or whatever, and she's dating one of them, and then out of nowhere, they take her to this out in the middle of the desert, and they rape her. All three of these guys rape her, and they throw her on a kind of like a tree spike and leave her to die. And so it's a brutal movie, and then she survives it for some reason.
Like Kill Bill. It's like Kill Bill, basically.
It's like Kill Bill, yeah. She gets raped by these three guys, and so she turns into a Balkan badass and trains and becomes like this murderous assassin.
Starring?
I forgot the actress's name, but she's so great in that movie, dude. It's so good. Called Revenge. She goes out and gets revenge, and goes on this massive badassery. It's so good. I saw it on Blu-ray. Didn't see it in theaters, but it came out recently, actually, in 2018. It's so good. I definitely recommend that.
Good. Cool. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds like Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. Anyway, so what's your underrated?
This is the first time I've done this. I picked 2 movies. And the
Oh,
reason
okay.
why is because it's a similar genre and it's by the same director. So I was like, just gonna fit. And that is Sing Street and Begin Again.
Oh, Sing Street, dude. That movie is so good. So
Have you seen
good,
Begin
dude.
Again? Have you seen Begin Again?
I haven't seen Begin Again, but I have seen Sing Street.
Okay, so Sing Street, directed by the same guy that did Begin Again, and it's both music based, like lighthearted films, and they're just so like Sing Street. I know how you feel about it. You think it's great. I mean, it made my honorable mentions list. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It made my favorite coming of age movie list. It's just so good. It's so good. What I love about it, Sing Street, is obviously the music's great, but it feels
Drive
like
it like you stole it. Should have got nominated.
yeah, Drive It Like You Stole It was great. No one saw the movie. No one saw Begin Again either. Do you know what Begin
Academy
Again
didn't
is?
see it.
Did you see Begin Again? Or no,
I didn't see it.
not that. That's not what I meant. I meant, have you heard of it? Do you know what it's about?
I've heard of it. Yeah, Mark Ruffalo. Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo, Keira Knightley, and this director is just so uninterested in reality. Like he's just so whimsical and just feel like he's so optimistic and just sees everything through the eyes of a music video. And he just he has that very whimsical, almost adolescent lens with his filmmaking to make him, I guess, just I don't know. It's that vibe of just the spirit of it. It's just so uplifting, and I you know me, I'm a sucker for movies like this.
Yeah,
I just love coming of age, kind of just fun movies that are just so sweethearted, and even his movies are even a tad manipulative, but they're so well made. I don't even care. It's just. And Begin Again is great. We talked about most of Sing Street. If you're a film buff, you've probably seen that. But Begin Again with Mark Ruffalo, it's the struggling kind of music producer who looks at things differently. His boss always just wants the next Justin Bieber, this pop star, but he wants that artiste, that real good musician. And he finds Keira Knightley, and they just make music together, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then obviously Sing Street's great, and I rewatched Sing Street recently. And then Begin Again, I haven't seen a little bit, but I still have very fond memories of it. Mark Ruffalo is one of those actors that's he's obviously the Incredible Hulk, and he's been in a lot of stuff, but he's not talked about like an A-list director. But he's been in Zodiac. He's been in Jim Carrey movie, The Spotless Mind,
Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, Eternal Sunshine. He was in that. And so he's a good director, and then he's in this, and good actor, and he's in this, and he's fabulous. Great movie. I recommend you see it.
Awesome. I'll definitely have to check that out at some point. Anyway, so that was our underrated and overrated pick. This was fun. Looking forward to next week. All right, so now
we're going kind of fast this episode, so we can answer all these questions.
Yeah, let's just do it, man. So we got a lot of questions. Thank you guys, as always, for submitting in questions for our fan-submitted questions portion. Every single week, we answer your guys' questions because we want to hear from you. So I got them all right here on my phone. We're going to start with the Twitter questions first, and our first question comes from my brother, Cody O'Toole. I'd never heard of him. You probably never heard of him either. He asked us, what were your dream jobs growing up as kids? It's a great question. Colin?
I always wanted to be a teacher. That sounds kind of funny. Really? Yeah, I wanted to be a teacher since I was in 8th grade, maybe. And the reason why is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love the teacher. I love Paul Rudd. That's why I love Paul Rudd so much. That's why I love The Perks of Being a Wallflower so much is because it made me appreciate movies, and I read the book afterwards. So it just that's what always hit me. So I mean, besides a more realistic, less realistic job, teaching is obviously a realistic job. I've always wanted to do videos and stuff, and I'm doing that now. So I hope that this becomes a career, YouTube and stuff. But before that, I used to film I've told you about this, people surfing and stuff like that. So I wanted to be like just be a filmmaker, and like I used to record doing that, and I had my videos play at restaurants, and I was sponsored by a clothing company, and like made films about like the people they sponsored for like surfing or skimboarding or whatever. So that was fun. But yeah, pretty much YouTube. And then like I said, I've always wanted to teach kids. I love kids. I was always like the cool male babysitter because like it's just oversaturated with women. There's always there's like way more women that work at my school than there are men. It's like I'm always outnumbered. So like that's what like it's like kind of cool being like the one dude teacher, it's like, or like the dude babysitter or whatever. So I just like kids. That was always my dream, honestly. I never really was in it for the money or anything like that.
Yeah. For me, I've always wanted to be a train conductor when I was
what is that?
This is Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh my
God. Yeah. Because it's Thomas the Tank Engine. That was like my show growing up. I wanted to conduct trains. That's what I wanted to do when I was a kid. But now I'm a YouTuber. So
and then what grocery store do you work at?
I work at Shaw's.
Okay, so I've never heard of that because it's on the up north.
Do
you guys have Publix?
No, you guys have Publix. We don't have Publix.
So how do you know about Publix, but I don't know about Shaw?
I watch people on YouTube and they talk about Publix.
Have you? Dude,
people from Florida.
People from Florida are so crazy, dude. Publix is literally the shit, bro. It's like the dopest. Their sandwiches are so good, and their service is excellent. Like it's just like if you're like a Floridian, like I am, like Publix is just like ingrained in your blood. Like I'm just so biased to Publix.
Biased. Well, yeah. I'm biased to Shaw's, but anyway, so. Yeah, train conducting was what I wanted to do growing up. I don't know why, but anyway,
it's a random train. What do you want to do? Like, I want to know his answer.
Yeah, what's your answer, Cody? Anyway, thank you for that question, bro. Anyways, now our next question comes. This was a really good one from Jared Buckendall on Twitter. What is your channel's strengths? For example, what do you think sets you apart from others and is the reason people watch your content? Great question. Thank you, Jared. I think for me, ever since I've started YouTube, I just always wanted to do my own thing and do things that are, popular. People do a lot of now, which is the movie reviews, the trailer reactions, all that. And then I started to, get into the ranking video idea because of inspiration from Mr. Chandler, Sean Chandler, and Jay Vaders. And I think the way I set myself apart is I do it my style, like my own flow, and try to find something to do creatively about it. And I just talk about things that the general audience loves, which is the MCU, the DCU, the Star Wars, all that stuff. But then I add in some new things off the cuff. Like I do some TV stuff like Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, and Stranger Things, some other things. I just basically talk about the things I love and then do it in depth in a way that a lot of people don't do it nowadays. Just talk more about the things I grew up loving and just do it in an in-depth manner. I just love to talk about movies that I love personally and do like a deep dive into.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about for you, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's like kind of the same thing as you. It's like I'm doing things other people do, but it's me. I'm different from you or Austin Burke or whoever. I'm different from them. My takes are always going to be different. So that's what really sets me apart. I think as far as like actual like technical aspects, what sets me apart, I think my editing. I think I'm a good editor. Like I'm not trying to say that to brag, but I'm just naturally. I've always been good at editing. Like I try and like implement like a glitch feel to my channel. I like have like that glitch look. So I try and set that apart. So I just when you see a glitch, that's kind of my thing, I guess. And then a part that's I think helped me out is my ambition for the channel size I have. I'm smaller than virtually everyone, smaller than you, virtually everyone we've had on our as like our guests and stuff. And I for some reason these smaller YouTubers, I don't know if maybe they're being rejected or if they're afraid to reach out, but I've been able to connect with people that are much bigger than me. And I think it's just like I'm just a confident guy. So I reached out to Sean Chandler, who's a million times the trailer of me, channel
Subscribers, yeah.
Subscribers, and he did a video on my channel. I've done it with Griffin. I have a podcast with you who has way more subscribers than me. So like I've just been able to shoot my shot. So I think that's what sets me apart is I'm a 500 subscriber YouTuber that doesn't act like it. You know what I mean? Like really, like I think my video quality shows that I probably deserve more subs. Honestly, if I'm not trying to say that to be like brag. I'm just saying like I feel like I have good quality videos, and then I do things with the big guys, or at least I'm trying to. And I don't know if there's a lot of other small YouTubers that can say that. And I'm not saying like again, I'm not saying that to brag. That's just how I feel. So I think that's what sets me apart, really.
Yeah, that's a really good explanation, man. And you're doing a really great job, man. Keep it up. Yeah.
Thank you, man. I'm getting there. Road to 1,000 subscribers. Help me
to 1,000. Make it happen for Colin. Wait,
I hit 500. Yeah, I hit 500 subscribers this month, and I'm already almost at 600 subscribers.
You're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit it. No problem.
So I'm getting there.
Yeah. You're gonna hit it by September or August or July. You'll get there, man. You'll get there. So next question comes from Jack Benner's Movie Reviews on Twitter. Thank you for the question, Jack. What are some of your favorite comedies pre-2000s?
You know what answer I'm gonna give.
Yeah, School of Rock.
Well, no, it's pre-2000s.
Is it?
Yeah, they asked pre-2000s, and School of Rock is 2003.
So the 1990s?
Yeah, the 1990s. You know what answer is going to mine is me Election, obviously. It came out in 99.
Yeah,
Election.
The Big Lebowski, for sure.
Yeah, the Big Lebowski is great. I would say Election. So
Election. Yeah, that's a good one.
What you need to see. You know what? Don't see it until I go to Boston. We'll watch it together. I want to see it
together. I want to see how good Election is.
Just see it. Please see it. Please see it like this weekend. Come on. Run it on YouTube. Just watch it.
Okay. Our next question comes from Patrick Preston, my cousin, on Twitter. What are some movies you dislike that your parents love? Great question. Oh man, what's a movie my parents love that I hate?
I mean, my that you dislike that my parents love is what?
No, the question is, what are movies your parents love that you dislike?
My dad loves American Werewolf in London. I freaking hate that movie. That movie's I don't know why people like that movie. That's probably an overrated movie. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, he loves like American Hustle. I'm not a big fan of American Hustle.
Usually movies me and my mom watch, we both love. My dad the same way. We both love comic book superhero movies. So that's a really tough question for me to answer.
My mom doesn't watch a lot of movies. Like
my mom loves the Mamma Mia movies. I hate those movies. My dad. Yeah, we pretty much universally agree on every
movies that my dad really doesn't like bad movies. Really, like the movies that my dad likes. He likes like the Oscar stuff or like these biopics or stuff like these movies that are sophisticated and stuff. Like there'll be movies like blockbusters that he might not like that I do like.
Yeah,
but and like so that maybe that's an unpopular opinion, but most of the movies that he likes are usually like critically acclaimed and stuff. Like he has good taste in that. Like he loved Uncut Gems. Like I showed him that.
It's a great movie.
He was like, he thought it was great. He really likes Manchester by the Sea, which is a movie I introduced him to.
That movie. That movie took my heart and broke it.
It just shattered it. What's so great about the movie though is it's heartbreaking and stuff, but it's so uplifting in so many different parts too.
It's so real. It felt like I was watching kind of your life.
Lucas Hedges is going to be the next great actor.
He is a phenomenal actor. He should step out of his comfort zone and do something like an MCU grounded or DC film. Like that's another actor I kind of forgotten. Like actors who would step out of their comfort zones, do something different. Yeah,
Yeah, he
that
does.
Lucas
He does
Hedges is one
Oscar
I
bait.
want to see.
Yeah, he does
Yeah,
Oscar bait.
he was on. He was nominated for Manchester. He was phenomenal in that movie.
He was in Honey Boy too, which you haven't seen. Honey Boy's
Yeah, I haven't
great.
seen Honey Boy. Thank you, Patrick, for that question. And now let's go to the YouTube questions. Film Stocked. Hey, Chris from Film
What's
Stocked.
up, man?
Great YouTuber. We should have him on the podcast sometime. Who would you cast to play yourselves in a movie about your life, and who would direct it? I've gotten this question before.
I've never heard this question.
I know who you would choose for your director.
Who do you think it would be?
Richard Linklater.
Well, it depends on what it is. Like if it's like
John Hughes.
No, it wouldn't be John. It definitely wouldn't be John Hughes, actually.
I think for me, I think David Fincher could direct my life really well.
Well, I was gonna say David Fincher if it was darker, but my life isn't dark. So I mean, to direct
Noah Baumbach.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Richard Linklater to direct, and then I'll say James Franco to play me. I think he'd be great.
And James Franco, yeah, I could see that.
I think he could play me. People have said before when I was younger, not so much now, that actually I met James Franco. I never told you this. I met James Franco. Did I ever tell you that?
You never told me this.
Yeah, I met James
awesome.
Franco when I was in 9th grade. We went to New York as a family, and we saw the Broadway play of Mice and Men, and he played in it. And I talked to him, and we took a picture together and stuff. And but people used to always say, like, in that picture, people said that we looked alike. It was kind of funny. So I looked like a younger version of James Franco. So
nice.
I want him to play me with a Richard Linklater film. If it's a darker film, David Fincher for sure.
Yeah, I think for me, probably Jonah Hill could play me really well, and my personality. So I would want to see Jonah Hill play me, directed by Noah Baumbach.
What kind of film would that be, Noah Baumbach?
I don't know. Marriage story. Everything you did. Every day I tell you I want you dead. I don't know.
I wish we never met.
Oh my god. I hope you get an illness and then you get hit by a car and die. That'd just be really serious. I don't know. That's a really tough question, really. Yeah, let's go with Jonah Hill, directed by Noah Baumbach. Ryan O'Toole, the movie's called. Anyway, thank you for that question, Chris. The next question's from the Liam Rush Show on YouTube. This is something you kind of can answer, but you're not into the genre. Top 3 horror movies of the 2010s. I can answer this right off the cuff. Definitely Conjuring 1 and 2 as one is easily my favorite. The Babadook, that's a really great one. Get Out. Hereditary. Hereditary's top 3 for me. I'll go with Hereditary, Get Out, and the Babadook.
I'm gonna say Don't Breathe. A Quiet Place, obviously.
Oh, that'd probably be top 5.
And this is some recency bias. The Invisible Man, just because.
Isn't? No, that's 2020, 2010s.
Oh, true. I forgot we're in
2010s.
2020's been such a rough start. I forgot we're even in it.
You seen Get Out?
No, I have it on Blu-ray. I've been meaning to watch it.
You haven't seen Get Out? Oh,
no, I've been meaning to.
I thought everybody saw that movie.
My girlfriend saw it. She thought it was overrated.
Jordan,
actually.
I don't blame her, but I love Get Out. Jordan Peele.
I don't know.
I think Us is overrated.
Yeah, I don't know. I think just the only one, A Quiet Place is for sure number 1. That's what. Oh, would you count Split as horror?
Psychological.
I'll go Split.
All right, that's fine. Yeah. There you go, the non-horror guy.
I did it. Yeah, I did it. Look, I picked like the least horror-y movies.
The least horror-y movies. Somebody's gonna comment, "This guy's not a horror guy. Get him off."
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So our next question comes from Ethan Reuter on YouTube. Another this or that question. This is easy. Netflix or Disney Plus? Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix. But I am watching Clone Wars right now. So right now, Disney Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. If you appeal to the Marvel, the Disney stuff, obviously Disney Plus. But Netflix has got some of my favorite shows: Breaking Bad, The Office, Parks and Rec's on there.
When are you gonna
The
watch
Office,
when are you gonna
and
watch
Better Call Saul's on there, and I still haven't seen it.
What is wrong with you, dude?
Bro, I'm watching MCU Avatar. I got my brain full of stuff to watch. Anyway, so Avatar too. Like, come on, Netflix is the king of streaming services.
Dude, Clone Wars.
And now The Office is leaving Netflix in 2021. Crying sad face.
It's gonna go to freaking Peacock.
NBC's streaming service.
Peacock. That's what it's gonna be called. Peacock.
That's what she said. Our next question comes from Life of Alex on YouTube. What makes a classic movie, like a Pulp Fiction, Goodfellas, etc.? Basically, what makes a classic movie?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah,
great question. Well, you gotta have.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah,
you gotta have a great director attached to it, no matter what. You gotta have like a Scorsese, a Nolan, pretty much a director with a creative passion and a vision for a film. You need actors who know what the source material is, are going to bring their A game no matter what. Just an idea that stands out no matter what.
I don't know if you need. I don't need if you know if you need a great director, because there's some directors that have done like one-hit wonders. Like, let's put it this way, like Nightcrawler, right?
No, I mean not on great known directors. I mean like directors that have talent to them, that know what they want, what they want.
Well, I was gonna say,
you gotta
like,
know what they want. Yeah.
I was gonna say, like, Nightcrawler, like that film, the guy
Dan Gilroy.
Yeah, Dan Gilroy, and his films afterwards haven't been hits at all. None of them. Like, Nightcrawler was incredible, and Nightcrawler, I think it's gonna be a classic. We've already seen stuff like Inception, already a classic, and that's recent. I think Baby Driver is gonna be a classic, just with music and stuff. I'm trying to think.
Whiplash.
Whiplash. To me, what makes a classic is, I think it's going to be a mix of, it was an Oscar film or like a not really an Oscar film, but it was heavily critically acclaimed.
That everyone talks about.
Audiences loved it as well. So let's just think of movies.
And I will say another one. I'll say another one that you're going to highly disagree with. Mad Max Fury Road is a classic in the action filmmaking genre. That film perfectly describes what a classic is right there.
No, it's already a classic. So let's just think of movies 2019 though that were nominated for Best Picture. Is there any ones that you think will end up a classic?
Avengers Endgame.
I think 1917.
1917 for the war genre. Parasite for sure will be a classic. In the foreign film genre.
I don't think Ford v Ferrari. It can be. I'm not saying it's
that not so good though, but I don't.
I think Little Women has a chance to be a
maybe.
I love it.
I mean, it's the same movie, pretty much.
Movie has a chance to be a classic. I think people are gonna be like, "Dude, that movie is great." Jojo Rabbit. But I think
Jojo Rabbit,
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems. Yeah, that's a good one.
But I think honestly, I don't know if there's a formula to become a classic. They just become classics. Like,
perfect. It has to be like everything in the genre that it does excellently. For action, Mad Max Fury Road does everything I want in the action movie franchise. The Dark Knight does everything I want in the superhero genre, and crime as well. What are the ones? Whiplash does everything I want in an Oscar bait drama. It is an Oscar movie, but it does everything that I want. What other ones? Parasite it was a drama, but as well as a comedy.
I think Manchester by the Sea we just mentioned. I think that'll be a classic.
I think more people should see that movie.
Yeah, that's great.
I think a majority of people have to have seen it and are talking about it to be a classic.
Yeah, like with Pulp Fiction, the reason it's a classic.
Get Out to kind of get into that classic route for horror.
Yeah, well, the reason why Pulp Fiction was such a classic is so we'd never seen anything like it at that time.
Inception. We forgot Inception.
Well,
That's
no,
a
I
sci-fi
mentioned it.
classic.
No, I mentioned Inception at the very beginning. I said it's a classic.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
No,
Sorry.
that's okay. It's already a classic. That's what's crazy. It's already a classic.
Yeah.
It came out 10 years ago.
Yeah, like you said, I think Nightcrawler 2 will be a classic as well in the crime genre. Yeah, that's pretty much what describes a classic, man. And anything that people are talking about a lot and still resonate with people 10 plus years later, that defines a classic to me.
No.
Maybe not to some people. Deep in the film's core, that's Spongy on YouTube asked us, why did you want to start your channels? I got this question a lot. Just was inspired, by Stuckman, Johns, basically the Avengers for YouTube movie reviewers. Like, yeah, I love watching movies. And then I was actually, if you guys want to go check out an interview I did with Ronald E. Smith on his Get Real podcast, I pretty much explained all this, how I started YouTube. I love movies pretty much all growing up, but it wasn't my passion at the start. It was music. Percussionist. You saw the interview, right, Colin?
Yep, I watched the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I started percussion and played percussion all through middle school and high school. And then when I graduated high school, I had a different passion. I watched movies a lot. Saw Winter Soldier in theaters. Loved it. That movie got me back into the game of seeing movies in theaters. And I just fell in love with YouTube. Like something snapped. I'm like, I feel alive right now. This is what I want to be doing right now. And so throughout 2014, 2015 was watching movies. Wasn't in YouTube. I started YouTube obviously in 2016. That's when Ryan O'Toole started. So, because my love for movies, but I didn't have that passion yet for talking about them, expressing them to other people throughout the world. And so Cody was like, start a YouTube channel. I'm like, I want to start a YouTube channel. Boom. That's how I started.
Yeah,
Colin?
I mean, yeah, for me, it was just just wanted to talk about movies in front of people, to people, with people. I mean, it's crazy because, and I'm so thankful because people like my brother doesn't talk about movies with me too much. My dad does a decent bit, but I wanted to have like a friend. My girlfriend watches movies with me, but she doesn't know it. I mean, she knows a decent amount, but not like on a deeper level. I do. Like she'll be able to she knows who like Christopher Nolan is or David Fincher, or she's seen all, like she knows most of the stuff, but she's not like on a next level like I am.
Was your first video Lion King?
My video, Lion King.
When video on your channel.
When I not really, like not the way you see my channel now. That was like the prototype, and I had like no subscribers or anything. I basically started in January, but my first real video was the whatchamacallit? What is it called? The New Mutants trailer reaction. That was my first like real one. So yeah, why'd you say the Lion King? Did you see it or something? Or?
Yeah, it was like your first video I saw, and when you scroll on YouTube, you go to their first videos. So.
Yeah, that was
you didn't show your face really in your previous.
No,
video.
so it was it wasn't really what I had, like no subscribers or anything. So
yeah,
I actually deleted all those videos, the one before, because they suck.
They suck. Yeah.
So but the real reason is I just wanted to, and I am like I said, I am so thankful because I've had the confidence to reach out, and now I have a podcast with you, who I watched your videos before. I'm doing videos with like Griffin and Sean, and I'm working, meeting people through this podcast. So I'm living the dream now, whether I make this a career or not, because I'm talking about movies with people, and and now I have lifelong friends. Like when this whole crap's over, I'm sure we'll get together or whatever and do things or whatever. So it's just so cool that we're able to talk about this stuff. So yeah, that's why I started it.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, Spongy. Zachary DeSico on YouTube asked us, sorry if I mispronounced your last name, favorite costume in the MCU?
I like Mysterio. Mysterio is dope.
Mysterio, that's a dope costume.
Dude, that's dope
from the comics. That's all you need, the comic suit right there.
I just came up with that on my time. That's not what I would have originally said. I just thought about that. I love Captain America's suit, obviously.
Captain America's suit. I love Black Panther's Civil War suit. Like
Yeah,
they should have kept the Civil War suit because that was just badass. The sea like the purple
I
suit in
like
Black
Thor,
Panther.
Thor in Infinity War with the long
Yeah,
sleeves.
that's a good one. That's a
Dude,
good one.
it's so good. It's like black. Oh my god, it looks
Yeah.
so cool.
Iron Man suit is a classic.
The first Iron Man suit is great. I don't like
Mark
the bleeding
Mark
armor.
II, the Mark II suit or the Mark One, whatever it is.
I
Mark
don't like
43.
I said this actually. Spoiler to one of my thoughts on the review I did. I'm not a fan of the bleeding edge stuff in the Iron Man suits because I mean it makes sense that he'd be more technologically advanced, but I like the bulkiness and how it looks like it was created with nuts and bolts of the first one, like the one where it's like red and gold and it's the first. It's like Mark II or Mark III. I can't remember what it is, and it's just like looks realistic. The one like in Civil War it looks like super CGI. It looks really odd. I'm not a big fan of the Iron. I'm not really a big fan of any of the Iron Man suits after Iron Man 3, probably.
Yeah, yeah. I like the nanotech suit in Infinity War.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks cool, but it's just like it looks like it's like I don't know. I like the nuts and bolts of the. I don't know. It looks more. I don't know.
Yeah. So those would be our favorite costumes in the MCU. Last question comes from Dylan's reviews on YouTube. Best foreign movie. For your personal favorite, mine's Parasite, obviously.
Yeah, mine's gonna be City of God.
City of God, yeah. Parasite, like pretty much Bong Joon-ho as a director. Just all his films are just phenomenal to me. Like they're masterpiece level for foreign films.
Portrait of Lady on Fire. I've told you this. You need to freaking see that movie.
I
like Portrait of Lady on Fire more than Parasite's recency bias too. I like Portrait of Lady on Fire more. No, I really do like Portrait of Lady on Fire more than Parasite. But I think Parasite's great. And those are my top three, the ones I just listed: City of God, Portrait of Lady on Fire, and Parasite. That would be my top three.
Yeah,
Parasite's great.
Yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much for submitting questions. We really do appreciate it, guys. Since it was just us, Ryan, today, we were supposed to have Jaron today, but it was just going to be us due to timing and all that in a situation. But anyway, we love answering your guys' questions regardless. And every single week, whenever I post, we're filming our next episode and we want questions, you can head on over to my Twitter as well as my community page, where I'll be asking for questions, and that's where you guys can leave them there for your pleasure. All right, Colin, we got one more topic to do, and you know what it is. Oh, two. Excuse me.
Dude, yeah, I was gonna say we have a list, man. We got
to do a top 5 list. Since it's the first day of summer, I think it was yesterday or something like that. I figured we do our top 5 summer movies, Colin.
So I'm confused by this a little bit.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna be. I should have told you this. My bad.
Is it summer movies like it came out during the summer, or has it got a summer vibe?
Yeah. Did you do a top? Did you put movies that came out in the summer?
I did movies that were kind of both, but there were some that came out.
Me too. Me too.
Like I did ones that like I tried finding ones that came out in the summer, but ones that had kind of a summer theme to it as well.
Me too. That's what I did. Okay.
All right. So some of them like came out in like April, so it's like it's close enough. It's close enough.
Yeah, I should have told you. My bad, but
anyway. You suck. You suck.
I suck. Huh? All right. So our top 5 summer movies, basically movies that take place in the summer season in the movie, or just like they came out in the summer movie season, whatever. All right, so I'll go first if you want. All right, I'll go first. Why not?
Okay, go for it.
All right, so my number 5 is Call Me by Your Name, which you haven't seen.
I see it. Yeah, I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Did you see it most recently?
I saw it when it came out. That's the only time I saw it.
Oh, okay. So it takes place in the summer. You got Elio and Oliver. Their romance and stuff. It takes place in the summer. Luca Guadagnino directed it. Supposedly there's a sequel coming. We'll see. And it just takes place in the summer. Just their relationship. And it's a really beautiful looking film. It's great. The music and just the performances by Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer are just fantastic. And one of the quotes from that movie, which was my favorite, from Michael Stuhlbarg, the dad, just talking about he knew the relationship all along and he still loves him. Like, that was just great. And the ending, with Timothy Elio at the fireplace crying, with just the end credits, was just great. It was just great. It's a great movie taking place in the summer.
Yeah, great pick. I didn't even think about that one.
All right, what's your number 5?
I don't know if you've seen this one. I think it's an underrated movie. Adventureland. Have you seen that one?
No.
Okay, so it's great. It's I think it came out during the summertime, but it's based on this kid who believe he graduated from college. It's got Jesse Eisenberg and Kristen Stewart, I believe is her name actually. And he wants to take a trip to Europe. He had planned it this whole time, but his dad got like a pay cut or he got fired or whatever, and so they can't afford to let him go anymore. So now he has to get a summer job at this amusement park. Bill Hader is his boss, and it's a really funny coming of age comedy that's really great. And have you even heard of it?
I've heard of it, but I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, Adventureland, and he works at just this place, and there's 2 sections of the amusement park where one's games and one's rides, and he wants to be on rides, but he gets games, and it's just like little things. Oh, and Ryan Reynolds is in it too.
Oh,
and he's
cool.
Like, yeah. So dude,
now you got me interested.
Yeah, it's got Ryan Reynolds. He's great in it, and it's just like them just hanging out, like the coworkers, and just in the summer. I believe it's set in the 80s, and Jesse Eisenberg scores great in it. So yeah, great film. And it's criminally underrated. So, and it's in the summer, so it's good.
So this is probably going to be your pick next week.
No, not anymore.
No, you spoiled it. So, all right. So my number 4. You're not gonna like it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, that's not a bad pick.
I just picked it because it takes place in the summer. I love the events they did in the summertime in the '60s.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like the movie the second time, but it's fine. It's just one of his worst movies, but
yeah. So all the scenes with Brad Pitt are fantastic. I don't think he out of all of them, yeah, I guess you can give him the Oscar, but I just thought Willem Dafoe was the best supporting actor performance of last year. But every scene with Cliff Booth was why I love Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Just him driving around at night, going home with his dog, driving in the summer daytime, Cliff Booth fixing Rick Dalton's antenna, taking his shirt off, and then you got Sharon Tate, Margot Robbie. Yeah, just everything in that film in the summertime in the 60s, just why it won Best Production Design. Just, you need to watch a movie during the summertime that makes you feel like you're watching a summer movie, that you want to do the events that the characters are doing. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood does that. It's a very laid-back movie, which I understand why people didn't love it, like a majority of the audience. It's a long movie, and then it goes right into the exciting stuff. Everything with the dog at the end was just phenomenal. I really enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's definitely one of the weakest Tarantino films for sure, but everything's
easily his most flawed movie. Easily his most flawed movie.
It's got flaws for sure, but
a lot of flaws. That's why I didn't.
Yeah. And just, it's a really good movie to feel like you're watching in the summertime. So that's my number 4. Colin, what's your number 4?
I'm so predictable. Stand By Me.
Yep, that's my number 3. So
okay, yeah, we'll talk
about it. Yeah,
that's great. It's Stand By Me.
So great.
It's good. It takes place in the summer, and I believe it came out in the summer too, so it's perfect.
Kids going to search for a dead body.
Yeah, and you know me. Hey, did you see my top 10 favorite coming of age movies? Did you see that video I came out with?
I did. Yeah,
I did. Yeah. So that made the list, and it's great. You guys have seen the movie. I don't need to talk about it any longer. And plus, you have it too. But it's great. I love it.
Yeah, great choice. Nothing really much else to say.
No.
So for me, Stand By Me, one of my favorite Stephen King movies. Just kids going to find a dead body. Watched this all the time when I was a kid. Just fell in love with the characters. Love the performances. River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, the whole gang. So
R.I.P.
great.
River Phoenix. R.I.P.
Yeah. What?
I said R.I.P. River Phoenix.
R.I.P. River Phoenix. So great. Also, Kiefer Sutherland too as the bully was really great too. And Stephen King he has movies that resonate with kids nowadays. I think kids now in this time period are starting to recognize Stephen
Yeah.
King's movie, like with It. We get the It movies.
Yeah, I think it helped people go back and watch Stand By Me that hadn't seen it yet because it has similar kind of vibes.
Similar vibes, yeah. So that's a great pick, man. Great pick. All right, you're number 3?
My number 3, let me double check. I gotta get my notes up here. My number 3 is Jaws.
That's my number 2. So
yeah, it's freaking great.
It's a masterpiece, as you can tell.
It's in the summer. There's
beaches. This could easily be number 1 because it's the perfect summer movie. It takes place in the summer.
It's a blockbuster. Maybe like one of the most first like defining.
This was like the first groundbreaking blockbuster before Star Wars.
Yeah, it is
the first blockbuster.
What's funny about this film is like I just love the vibe of like these just like ragtag 3 dudes that just go out and they're just gonna hunt a shark. Like it's just
badass, dude.
Something so like American about it that I love it. I also
so American, yeah.
So American, yeah. Jaws is very patriotic. And then I love the political intrigue too about like the town mayor doesn't want people to know there's shark attacks going on, and he's being a sleazy politician, but you can also understand where he's coming from because like they need to fund the town, but it's the political intrigue too that I really like. So yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, Roy Scheider, Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss, just all 3 cast members, phenomenal in Steven Spielberg Jaws. Like it's the first blockbuster to come out before Star Wars, so it changed the game. So yeah, it's a great choice. Yeah, Jaws is my number 2. It's Spielberg. It's a summer movie. Everything, just a shark walks down a beach during 4th of July weekend. So if you haven't seen Jaws, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?
It's great. It's great.
So number 1. I feel like my number one is a summer blockbuster.
Oh, okay.
It's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay, so it doesn't have summer movie feel, but it's a summer blockbuster. Gotcha.
Yeah, and it looks like it takes place during the summer. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, man. I love the Apes franchise. Apes Together strong. Saw this. This made my love for cinema even go up in 2014. I graduated high school, so this is like the perfect golden age for summer blockbuster season was in 2014. Like all the best summer blockbusters came out in 2014, bro. Yeah, Andy Serkis as Caesar just was phenomenal. Matt Reeves' direction. He's directing the Batman for a reason because this guy's a phenomenal filmmaker. And everything about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, it was a summer blockbuster, but it's way more than that. It is a phenomenal acted film, phenomenal directed, edited, shot, score. The score to these movies are so overlooked by Academy voters. Like Michael Giacchino created some of the best scores throughout this whole trilogy. It's great. So great. So yeah, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, that's my number 1. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, the whole Apes trilogy.
I guess we're at my number 2 because I still haven't said 2 more because you had some of the similar ones I had. I think that's where we're at. My number 2. So I'll just list off the last 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah, go right ahead. Yeah, what's your 2 and 1?
Number 2 is The Sandlot. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. Come on. The Sandlot. How can I miss that?
Yeah, it's in the summer. Dude, it's freaking a great movie, dude. It made my honorable mentions as well. It's just these kids coming of age, just in the summertime, just living, playing baseball, just doing things they probably shouldn't be doing, but they do it. And then that concept alone is great. Like just them playing baseball in the summer and just like learning from each other and, becoming friends or whatever. But then the added aspect of like the Babe Ruth signed baseball, having to go over to the fence and being scared of the dog and all that stuff. It's fantastic. Love the movie. And it's got like a 50% in Rotten Tomatoes for some dumb reason.
Yeah, you're high. Yeah, so those were our top 5 favorite summer movies.
No, I still got one more, bud.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, because we had a couple of the same ones.
Yeah, we got. So what's your number 1?
Yeah, Dazed and Confused, obviously.
Dazed and Confused. Okay.
Obviously, I'm so predictable, but it's it is a masterpiece. Is it not? Is it not, Ryan? It's a masterpiece.
No, it's not a masterpiece.
You don't think it's a masterpiece? Like, it's a masterpiece?
What are you wrong with you, man? No.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you do like it though, right?
Yeah, I do like it. I don't love it, but yeah, I like it.
It's such a cool. Like we talk about hangout movies, like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's not how you make a hangout movie. You don't make it 3 hours long. You do it in an hour and a half, like Dazed and Confused does. And the characters are so authentic and real. And you just like, if you're feeling lonely, just put on this movie because instantly you won't be alone anymore. You'll feel like you're a part of this gang. They just talk about random stuff about like George Washington, like he definitely smoked weed, and his wife had a big fat bowl waiting for him when he got home every day, and just like so many funny jokes. There's a running gag about how all the characters want to get shotgun. They're just always calling shotgun. It's like little things like that no other filmmaker takes the time to put in their movies, at least in the broader sense. I'm sure there's smaller filmmakers who do that. Is Richard Linklater. He's the only one that, maybe Quentin Tarantino too, but he's the only one that has these finer details of the unappreciated fun aspects of life where we're never going to talk about memories of us fighting over shotgun in the grand scheme of life. No one talks about those, but I just have so many funny memories of my brother and I fighting over shotgun. Like, it's just like, he's the only mainstream director that is able to capture it as wonderfully as he does. And that's why Dazed and Confused is so great. And it takes place in the summer, obviously.
Yeah, that's why we did it. Anyway, so that's a great pick, man. Those were our top 5 favorite summer movies. Summer's here, guys. Let's celebrate. All right, we can't really. Anyway, so before we close out the show, Colin, we got to do our movie quote of the week, of course. So, Colin, I'll let you kick this off.
Mine's really short. Here we go. What do you mean I'm funny? Goodfellas.
Oh, what am I, a fucking clown? Am I a clown?
What do you mean I'm funny? You're just funny. It's funny. Well, no, but what do you mean I'm funny? And dude, I got really cool. I think I sent you a picture. I got these really cool Blu-rays, or maybe I sent it to my girlfriend. I don't know if I sent it to you. These Blu-rays, Warner Brothers did like a thing where they did with their covers, where it's like almost looks like Steelbook-y, but it's not. But it has like these cool covers, and they had like ones for Inception, Seven, Goodfellas, The Hangover, Gone with the Wind, and I got all of them, and they're really cool covers. They're like, and it's got Goodfellas, it's got like the gun, and it says a quote. What do you mean I'm funny? So that's kind of the inspiration behind this.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
So I'll send it to you afterwards, but it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. All right. So mine's a little longer than yours. I'm on an MCU rewatch marathon. I just love these quotes.
Iron Man 3 last week, dude.
Yeah. Well, mine's a Black Panther quote from Captain.
All right.
No, Captain Civil War.
Okay, all right.
He had some badass quotes in that movie. I'm not picking I Don't Care because that's the most obvious one. It's the Black Panther has been. I'll do my Black Panther impression.
Hey, I did a Black Panther quote, actually.
Protector of Wakanda for generations. What?
Well, I was saying I did a Black Panther quote before with Infinity War, so I didn't mean to interrupt though. Sorry.
The Black Panther has been the protector of Wakanda for generations, a mantle passed from warrior to warrior. Now, cause your friend murdered my father, I wear the mantle of king. So I ask you both as warrior and king, How long do you think you can keep your friends safe from me?
Yeah,
That quote still gives me chills. Like that was the Black Panther we all
so
love
what
from
did
Civil
you
War.
like? What did you think about Civil War upon rewatch?
It's a great movie, dude. So great. I prefer Winter Soldier though, just
Nah,
because
I'm not Civil War to
I'm a
Team Cap.
Winter. Yeah. Civil War is probably 4 on my MCU ranking. It's really great. I love the conflict. I definitely don't agree with Griffin, but I definitely respect his opinion on where he's coming from. But yeah, I picked that quote just because it's my favorite Black Panther quote. Over, I don't care.
I don't get. Yeah, I think it's good quote. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
funny. I picked a Black Panther quote too with.
Don't worry, I'll probably pick a Thanos quote next week.
What's the next movie on the list? I guess Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok, then Black Panther, then Infinity. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a Thanos quote next week. Just warning you, Colin, and our guest, Sean. I think.
Yeah,
Sean.
we have
Yeah,
Sean.
Sean. Yeah, spoilers. Sean Chandler is gonna be on next week's episode. Everyone's going crazy now. Anyway,
Yeah,
that closes out episode 10, guys. Just me and Colin. This was fun, man.
dude, 10 weeks.
Unfortunately, this did take us 2 hours. Well, actually, an hour and 59 minutes. But still, it was great to talk about all this stuff. It was a lot of beef in the burger, as we talked about.
Well, we dragged it on. We could have made it shorter, but we had to like our fan submitted question portion went long.
Yeah, so we talked in depth. But anyway, Colin, episode 10 wrapped in the books. Looking forward to next week with Sean. Episode 11 of the Fallen for Film podcast. We'll see what we have in store. So, anyway, guys, before we close off today's show, Colin, thank you as always, man. As always, tell my subscribers your social media links, all that plugs, and tell everybody what's coming out on your channel this week.
Yeah, you can find me with my first initial reaction to any film I ever see. C Williams 991 on Letterboxd. On Instagram, that's probably the best way to like talk to me. I pretty much always respond back to DMs and stuff. Ask a lot of my subscribers. People message me all the time. Colin Williams reviews on Instagram, and then Colin Williams MR on Twitter. That's where I like react to movie news and are probably the most active on there. And you see me react like, talk to Ryan or Griffin or whoever, Jaren Talks Movies, who we were supposed to have on today. But yeah, so you can do that. And then coming up on my channel, by the time you're listening to this, this video will already be out. It's the Iron Man review. And then I recently just came out with the top 30 movies of all time. I've been talking about this for weeks since I think I announced I was going to do this when we had Jay Vaders on as our guest.
Yeah,
so
this was a long time in the making.
So, yeah, long time in the making of making the list, thinking, planning, coming up with honorable mentions, all that. So it's really a top 50 list because I list off 20 honorable mentions throughout the entire review, sprinkled throughout. So that was a lot of fun. So please watch that one because it took multiple days of editing and whatnot. So, and then, just look forward to the MCU ranking reviews. I started off with Iron Man. Next week will be The Incredible Hulk every Monday. So the same day the podcast drops. So, and it's going to drop at probably like 8 a.m. every Monday. So watch my video, then just transition right to the podcast.
Yeah, looking forward to tomorrow, man. It'll be great. Looking forward to finishing off that favorite movies of all time video as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, that's going to close it out for episode 10. As far as for my channel this week, not a lot this week. I'll probably do a classic review, probably for Casablanca, since I just got that on Blu-ray this month for May. Speaking of Blu-rays, I do have an end of the month Blu-ray haul, as always, coming out this week.
Yeah,
and this one will be a stacked episode with a lot of Blu-rays.
Sure,
Unfortunately, I'm still waiting for some Amazon. Anyway, Colin, speaking of that, you're gonna have to send me the link again for the specialized.
It's gone. It's like sold out.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I was trying to look for that link everywhere. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway,
I guess I could. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll probably also do a top 5 list for this week. Best and worst movies of this year so far. Why not? There's nothing else really to talk about. So yeah, that's what's coming out for me this week. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 10 of the Fallen for Film podcast. Again, all our social media links are in the description below. We'll see you next week for episode 11. Take care.